Welcome back, and we've got at least 30 minutes before we take leave of you here on the Pulse. And of course, exactly 3 weeks from tomorrow, Ghanaians, 80 million of us, will queue up and vote for a president and 276 members of parliament. And the campaign euphoria has reached fever pitch, with the candidates intensifying their push for votes. They have been crisscrossing the country, appealing to the hearts and minds of the electors. This afternoon, we will touch base with as many of them as possible. But we'll start from the camp of the MPP, Dr. Mohamed Bawumia, who is on a 15-day campaign tour of the Ashanti region. He's been seeking the support of religious and traditional leaders to solidify the MPP's base in the region. Dr. Bawumia has been crisscrossing the various constituencies, meeting with various stakeholders to drum up support for the MPP in the upcoming presidential and parliamentary election. He's expected to complete a total of 261 constituencies. My colleague Nana Wachi Yadom is traveling with him and joins us with an update. Nana Wache, so where are you now, and how are they welcoming him?
Well, Elton, the vice president and presidential candidate of the New Patriotic Party, just completed his mini rally in the new Edubiase constituency. The bus of the vice president is moving to the Adams, where he's set up his 33rd stakeholders engagement in the constituency, meeting with the clergy, traditional leaders, and then the Islamic community. Later onwards, he would have a mini rally, just as he did in the New Edubiase constituency, in the Adanse Asuka constituency as well. And from here, the vice president is expected to move to Fomena, where he would have his last stakeholders engagement and then mini rally to wrap up a sum of 335 stakeholders engagement so far since he began his tour in the Ashanti region.
So far, how many days left for him to bring this to an end?
So, Elton, the vice president has spent 11 days in the Ashanti region, and we have just 4 days for him to complete his 15-day tour in the Ashanti region. So, 4 days left for the vice president to end his campaign tour of the region.
And tell me, I mean, the Ashanti region obviously is the stronghold of the MPP. They are hoping to win at least between 80 and 85% of the votes. The assumption is that if they are able to do so, they may win the general election. You've been following him around. Is the enthusiasm there? What are the people saying?
Well, Elton, throughout the engagement the vice president is having with the stakeholders and the party supporters, we can see a number of people joining him to listen to his message. In fact, he's having door-to-door campaigns as well, and people are always coming out to listen to the message of the vice president. I say that people really come up to him, and we are just as you know from the pictures and then from the reports that we have filed earlier, is the party is gaining momentum in the region with this particular campaign that the vice president started. He is expecting that by the end of his 15-day tour in the region, the party's aim of securing about 80 to 85% votes in the Ashanti region would be something that can be attainable. And the vice president has been reiterating it, that the party needs over 80% of votes in the Ashanti region. And if that is done, there's a probability of them winning the presidential and parliamentary election. He has also been talking about the fact that the MPP must win all 47 seats in the region, and that there's no need for the party to move out of its range of getting 47 by even voting for any independent candidate, looking at the current standoff that we have in Parliament. And so for the commitment of securing over 85% in the Ashanti region, looking at the numbers, the vice president himself is hopeful that that is attainable.
So my Nana Wachi Yadom, and he's still following the vice president campaign tour in the Ashanti region. Away from the MPP, Nana Kwabe Bidiakon's vice presidential candidate, Dr. Mary Ann Isaka, we say, joins us via Zoom for a quick chat on how it's going. Doctor, good afternoon. Welcome to the Pulse. So, baptism on the campaign trail, how is it going for you? And if you can unmute for me, Doctor. Hello, Dr. Marianne.
Good afternoon.
Yes,
yeah.
Good afternoon. So first time on the campaign trail, indeed. First time for the new force. How is it going for you?
Well, the response has been great. The love is organic. You know, we don't buzz people around. So the crowds you see are real. So far, we are left with 3 regions to cover. We are currently in the central region, and the response is amazing. The youth, market women, the aged are all filled with hope, and they are happy to have an alternative to the duopoly.
So the plan is that you are visiting all 276 constituencies. What is the central theme of your message to get Ghanaians to move away from the dominance of the MPP and the NDs and possibly give a new lease of life to the new force?
Yeah, moving around the constituencies, the complaints have been the same. Unemployment. The youth are distraught and they see no hope in the future. Mothers are worried their children can't find work. In some of the places we visited in the Ashanti region where Galamsey is prevalent, the mothers told us point blank that that's the work available for their children and that they are not going to stop. And we have explained that there is really no cause for the problems that we face in this country. Because the country is endowed with resources. I mean, we have gold, we have cocoa, we have oil, we have arable land, water resources in every region. And this can actually be harnessed with industrialization to create jobs and better the livelihood of the youth. And so there's really no reason, apart from bad leadership and lack of foresight and innovative thinking, and of course corruption, that the youth should face unemployment and the other problems that they face.
And are they giving you hope that they will follow what you are asking them?
I mean, yeah, they are really buying into the message that we are giving them. Some of them, especially those in the health facilities, are very excited about our policies on the SNIT revolution. That is going to make it possible for more health facilities and, of course, jobs to be created, because under the SNIT revolution, we are going to make it possible for contributors to withdraw part of their contributions before pension to pay for their health care. And that will create market capital and attract investments in the space. The market women are also, of course, very excited about the commercial opportunities that the industrialization is going to bring. We talked about connecting water bodies and creating railway networks under our Pillar 2. And of course, one of the major concerns for them has been the deplorable nature of our roads. And we have explained that with the jobs, the government will be able to raise enough revenue to fix the roads.
Right.
And also the water bodies, once connected, is going to create a lot of commercial opportunities for them.
Final question before I let you go. The Electoral Commission started the deployment of the ballots to the regions. Security is on high alert. Generally, in terms of the election preparation and everything that is going into it, are you satisfied with the way things have been done, especially by the Electoral Commission? Are you confident with the free, fair, and transparent elections in 3 weeks' time?
Yeah, I mean, so far we haven't had any reason to complain. Our reps are on the ground, and if they identify any issues that we think should be of concern, we'll raise them.
All right. Let me give you the opportunity to speak to those who are watching and listening to you this afternoon.
Okay. Thank you very much for the opportunity. I want to say to our fellow Ghanaian citizens that the new force has really good intentions and plans for you to make your lives better. Please take your time to listen to our 12 pillars of economic freedom. And also, I mean, take your time to follow us on the tour. We have, I mean, this tour has been really humbling for me. It's been a real eye-opener. And I'm happy that some of our competitors are doing it, because I feel that in order for you to be a responsible and effective leader, you really need to know what is going on around the country.
Absolutely.
Some of the things we have seen, the level of poverty and deprivation, have been really touching and exceptional. And I think that once you see such images, you will think twice before you decide to put 5 million under your bed, because you will see the extent of damage that you are causing in the country.
All right. Dr. Mary Ann, thank you so much for your time. Obviously, definitely we'll speak again before the D-Day. Dr. Mary Ann is the running mate for the new force. That's Nana Kwame Bediako, the independent presidential candidate. Now, in the studio this afternoon is Dr. Ramsey Inusa from the Movement for Change. Ramsey, you're welcome. Good to see you again.
Elton, you're looking good as well.
Thank you so much. And of course, Nana from Poma spokesperson Sylvester Sapon.
Yes, sir.
Sylvester.
Sapon Soprano.
Yes. Sylvester, you're welcome.
I appreciate you.
How is the CPP doing?
We are campaigning as hard as we can. We are determined to, help our country by ensuring that Dr. Bawumia does not, get re-elected.
Why only Dr. Bawumia? There are others who are contesting.
But he is the pressing danger.
Okay.
He's the pressing danger to the well-being of Ghanaians. We gave him everything you could have ever expected, in the presidency. He even told us that he had arrested the dollar. You understand? The unemployment, the
new force
running mate was talking about is a function of Dr. Bawumia's incapacities and, in fact, incompetence, to tell the truth, if we are just to be honest. Because Dr. Bawumia has had it all. And he also had extraordinary support from his boss, the president. I remember that President Akufo-Addo said that Dr. Bawumia is the wisest man in Ghana. By the way, I also remember that President Rawlings said that P.V. Obeng was the wisest man in Ghana. And this is where we are right now. The unemployment, she talks about. So we are in dire straits. It might interest Ghanaians to know that the migration rate outside from Ghana is unprecedented. The only time, apart from now, that migration was higher was in the 1981 to 83, the coup d'etat and the famine. But right now, migration is so intense in Ghana amongst our youth that even the secretary to the president of Ghana, I'm talking about Lawyer Bediatiu, had to warn the Canadians to tamp down. Apart from the dollar, exposing the fundamentals of a weak economy, the other item that tells the truth about the economy of any country is the direction of the youth with their feet. In this country right now, the youth of the country are crossing the Sahara Desert and dying in droves. They are joining boats trying to cross the Mediterranean. And we have a lot of Ghanaian bodies at Lampedusa. Okay, so it boils down to the fact that Dr. Bawumia is ineffective. Now, he may run the most sophisticated campaign, the most expensive campaign, because when I look at Dr. Bawumia's campaign, and I remember Dr. Bawumia before 2016, wow, what a transformation. Does he live in Ghana? He's so wealthy. And that's fine. And that's fine. We wish we were as wealthy as Dr. Bawumia, but we are not. And so we intend to change him. The CPP wants to tackle the unemployment element, afflicting the youth of this country by the introduction of what we call the Ghana Bashares.
Okay.
Now, under the Ghana Bashare strategy or the Ghana Bashares policy, we are guaranteeing every citizen of this country 20,000 Ghana cedis as your share of the republic, in a manner of speaking.
You will pay Ghanaians 20,000?
No, we will not pay Ghanaians 20,000 cedis. We are giving you equity in this country of 20,000 cedis.
Okay.
So that if you say you want to be a hairdresser, we can, make it available to you to facilitate the setting up and creation of your business. However, for instance, if you want to team up with others to create a bigger factory, let's say the Commander factory that President Akufo-Addo and Dr. Bawumia could not translate into jobs, not even one job. See, Ghanaians, you got to pay attention. Dr. Bawumia inherited a $35 million factory, brand new. He couldn't employ even one person in it. And then today, what is he talking about? So staying on point with the Ghana Bashares.
Yeah, so that I can bring it
But of course. So the $35 million, or let's say we need $10 million to get it running, we can bring together as many Ghanaian youth that with 20,000 apiece make up the amount necessary. And if they are interested, then we'll let it fly. So we have, the Ghana Bashares is just one of the ways. We are talking about agro-shore.
Before we get to that, let me allow Dr. Ramsey to also come. So Dr. Ramsey,
but we just must make sure that we get rid of Dr. Bawumia so that we can get work to do in this country.
All right, Dr. Ramsey, we've got 3 weeks to go. What is the focus now for the movement?
Elton, let me take this opportunity to say a very good evening to your cherished viewers and the highly stoical people of Ghana who are waiting to see an ultimate transformation in their lives. The people of Ghana have been coupled over the years since the inception of our fourth republic by the duopoly of the NPP and the NDC that has created a divisive society in our country today, that nothing is going on. Today, as it stands now, youth unemployment is at 1.9 million, right? The cedi is Africa's fourth worst performing currency. Today, businesses are not able to receive some form of credits from the bank because interest rates on loans are quite high.
Too high.
So, Elton, Honorable Alan Kojo Tramantin has brought what we call the Great Transformational Plan, which is seeking to give us a stable economy that will grow, that will be resilient, and would offer prosperity to all Ghanaians, irrespective of your religious affiliation or your partisan affiliation. Today, development in this country is skewed towards your partisan affiliation and even appraisal systems in our public polities. If you do not have an allegiance to your political party, right, it might not allow you to be able to achieve your goals as a citizen. And that's what we've seen. And this has been propagated by the flaws in our constitution. So Honorable Alan Kojo Tramantin is promising the people of Ghana that we are going to ensure that going forward, we amend the constitution. There will be some form of debt sustainability management that he promises when he comes into power, he will cap the debt that any government can borrow. And we're not going to borrow more than 55% of our GDP.
Right.
Public expenditure will not be more than 10% of our GDP. And of course, to finance our budget deficit, he's proposing that, and he would ensure it by law, that no government is going to exceed its budget deficit by more than 5% of our GDP. So these are sustainable, I would say, solutions that can be able to stabilize our macroeconomy. And when it comes to the youth issues with the youth unemployment, he is actually the
issue for the
yes.
elections.
Honorable Alan Kojo Tramantin is actually a panacea to the joblessness of the youth. And he is promoting what we call the Start Your Own Business Initiative, where students in our tertiary institutions would get financing from the Entrepreneurship Empowerment Fund to support their startups. And I always say this, and I am a key product of such a policy, but in China. For the record, I, Dr. Ramsey Nusa, I am the first ever black African to ever set up a tech startup in the Silicon Valley of China. During my university days, I built a $40 million tech startup, valued at $40 million. And this was as a result of the initiative that I went through the support of the Chinese government. I got support of over $100,000.
To start up a $40 million project.
Yes, exactly. So I always say that there are two types of university leavers. There are those that are seeking employment, and there are those that can start up their own business. And through this policy intervention, I think that we can be able to incubate entrepreneurs in this country. And we are promoting what we call an enterprise economy, that the private sector will be the engine of growth. And, you know, the issue of corruption and mismanagement. I mean, I watched earlier on your interview about His Majesty, the Ashanti King, Otunfo said to
the matter with the Konfanoti teaching.
Yes, trying to raise $10 million, right, to revamp the healthcare facility of the
public
hospital.
Institution, actually, for that matter.
Yes, a public institution. Unfortunately, and for the people of Ghana to know that under the management or the leadership of Mahmoud Bawumia and Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, they spent $58 million on the National Cathedral, which is left lying there. Not even a single block has been laid, but it has turned into what people call now the world's largest swimming pool. Elton, $58 million. Yes, still, the people of Kumasi, which is a stronghold of the MPP, just need $10 million to revamp the Konfanochi Teaching Hospital. They gave $12 million to contractors for the Poalugu Irrigational Dam, which he promised to the people of the northern region. Where is the dam? Where is the dam?
There's something I've identified, even though Alan is contesting to be elected president.
Yes.
I don't see a lot of people contesting the parliamentary on the tickets of the movement.
Okay.
So in the event that you win,
Yeah.
question people have asked is how are you going to govern?
Yes.
When you may not have a strong parliamentary backing.
Yes. Elton, I think that if you look at the wisdom in our constitution, the 1992 constitution, people go into parliament to represent their constituents and not their political party. That is a fact. Even though you go into parliament on the ticket of a political party, you go in there to represent the interests of your constituents. And so if it is transformation that your constituents are looking out for, if it's development that your constituents are looking out for, and you have a leader who can provide policies and give that leadership to be able to alleviate the suffering of your people, are you saying that you're not going to collaborate with that person against the will of your party? That is what we are trying to change. We are changing the status quo, that we need to be able to develop a nationalistic agenda, that Ghana's interests should be apical than the interests of all political parties. And so if you're a member of parliament of the NPP or the NDC or CPP, and you're in parliament, you should seek the interests of Ghana first and not the interests of your political party. And so these are all, I'll say, propaganda. Honorable Alan Kojo Tramante is going to promote a government of national unity. Right. Today, we've seen the divisiveness in our country, that today, Parliament is at a gridlock, right? We've seen the chaos in Parliament, which people call it a constitutional crisis, right? And this is as a result of the duopoly and the divisiveness of our political landscape. And Honorable Alan Kojo Tramante is saying that, look, we've had this system for 32 years. It's not working for us. Let us all come on board and bring people that have the merit and the credibility to be able to promote good governance and alleviate the suffering of the people. Today, Elton, if you do not belong to a political party, right, you will not be given the opportunity to develop at all. Contribute to the governance of this country. And that is why we're saying that Ghana for so long has been promoting what we call a kakistocracy, where the less privileged citizens are the ones that are in privileged positions to determine the future of this country, and they don't have the merits and the credentials.
Let me allow Sylvester to come in. Yes, the question really is the CPP really ready?
We've always been ready. I mean, how can you ask the creators of the Republic if they are ready for the Republic? I mean, before the CPP, there was no Ghana. So we have always been ready. But I wanted to address my good doctor from the Yellow House, Alan Chamatin's party, Movement for Change, exactly. And also just point out the clear disingenuity in the position, and from where he's coming from. He may have forgotten, or maybe he was unaware, that Mr. Alan Chamatin is best friends with President Akufo-Addo and also the Vice President, Dr. Bawumia, for 8 years, almost 8 years. He sat in the same cabinet room with them. Every day, when they were making decisions and also eating salad, he was eating the salad some. You understand? And now today he comes to say, did Dr. Alan Chamatin know all of this? So we in the CPP and most Ghanaians, we don't have time for Alan.
You have the opportunity
for Dr. Alan Chamatin, because he and Dr. Bawumia are birds of the same feather. They've been eating the same salad at cabinet meetings. Now, I was talking about CPP, unemployment. That is what is killing us in this country, especially the youth. And I was pointing out that the reason why the youth travel across the desert and the Mediterranean to Europe to look for jobs is because they're looking for capital, just to come and open a business in Ghana. Right. All right. And of course, that Dr. Bawumia, despite all his highfalutin economic talk, could not deliver. So we come down to industrialization, which all of us, all the political parties are talking about, which the CPP actually have, we have done it. We did it. Indeed, the Commander Sugar Factory is our product originally. So we see that industrialization is good for Ghana, coming from the government, moving into action in that regard. But the CPP also has strategies that the youth can take advantage of without a $35 million project from the government of Ghana. For instance, we are looking at areas in the new economies emerging, like drone aviation. Right. That is an opportunity where an entrepreneurial youth can, with about 20,000 cedis from the Ghana budget, start a drone aviation business, be the eye in the sky for the police or the immigration border or the army. And amongst real estate opportunities, we are talking about artificial intelligence. We want to push our youth there. You don't need $35 million, and I'll land in a minute, to start that. $20,000 or less could do that. Particularly, we want to encourage our youth to get involved in gaming. I'm not talking about betting on the soccer games. We're talking about, for instance, when you are in Trotro, I take Trotro quite a bit. You see a lot of the ladies, when they have settled in the Trotro, they open their phone and they are playing a game where balls are dropping, and in those games. This is a multi-billion-dollar industry. Of course. And Ghana is not participating. And we have the Vice President going around the country opening apps instead of simply helping people to do these things. So the vice president is completely bankrupt of original ideas, and he's only living and thriving on his vice presidency, the presidency, and the love that President Kufuor has for him. And that's why we must vote him out. Yeah, Bawumia must to go.
I'll bring
Bawumia must to go.
I'll bring Dr. Ramsey in, but let me bring in Dr. Hassan Ayariga. Dr. Ayariga, tell me, where are you now? We've got 3 weeks to go. Yeah, so we have lost Dr. Hassan Ayariga.
So then let me land here.
Okay,
so that he can come.
He's got some response for the criticism of Alachi Martin.
So what I'm saying here is that we want the youth in this country, because they are IT oriented and IT savvy, to get involved in gaming, for instance, okay, because it's $1 million industry and it doesn't require some extraordinary finances from the IMF to be able to implement it. So when you listen to what I'm saying here, and then when you listen to what Mr. Ayariga has been saying, and what my good man, the doctor from Yellow, is saying, and what the rest of them are saying, you see that they are largely lost, especially Dr. Bawumia, who somehow thinks that it is going to be possible. Doc, it's not going to be possible.
Dr. Ramsey, your response to... can you tell me the plan for the youth?
Elton, it's quite interesting to hear a person who opposed to Nkrumahism criticize...
Just 1 second. Hassan Ayariga has got to... So I can let me have him for the next few minutes. The APC's presidential candidate, Dr. Hassan Ayariga. Dr. Ayariga, tell me, where are you now? We've got 3 weeks to go.
Good evening to you, and good evening to your cherished listeners. I'm in Accra. Yesterday, I'm sure if you watch GTV, I had the presidential encounter with Ghanaians, and I outlined my policy vision for Mother Ghana and my strategies to become president and my campaign policies. So currently, we're in Accra. We just did some constituencies and then we just got back to the office to arrange for tomorrow. We are going to move to Easterwood. And from the Easterwood, we will go to Ashanti, Bono.
Yeah, pick up your voice more. It's difficult to hear you. Yes.
Yes, we'll be going to Ashanti, Bono East, and then subsequently we'll hit the northern region, Upper East and Upper West. So 21 days to elections, these are the times that all political parties must hit hard, get to the people, sell our messages and policies for the Ghanaian people to buy into and to vote for a change. Because as you're aware, the problem now is the high level of voter apathy. That is the problem we are facing in Ghana now. Many Ghanaians that we have interacted with and have engaged with are not willing to vote. And that is the biggest problem many of the political parties and leaders are not seeing. Many people are just waiting for 7th of December to come, and they will not go out and vote, and will record huge voter apathy and record low turnout. And I have been talking to them. In as much as you are not satisfied and not happy with current and previous administration, that should be the reason why you should come out and make a change. You are not making a recycle of NDC and NPP, but you're coming out to give APC, Hassan Ayariga, the chance to change the country, transform our country, and build this country for the betterment of everybody.
Right.
With the policies of flat rate of ECT, flat rate of water, free port, free duty, okay, a national data system, a national development plan, change of mindset, Ghanaians and Ghana first policy. A nationwide job centers all over the country, turning Ghana into a lockdown to become a production, manufacturing, and industrial hub.
All right.
An issue of bringing on board the 24-hour economy to turn Ghanaians to work 24 hours around the clock to achieve economic independence. These are the policies Hassan Ayariga is proposing.
Right.
A minimum wage of 150 to 300 Ghana cedis daily, a wage salary, a minimum salary wage of 5,000 Ghanaian citizens to benefit. An unemployment benefit to go who do not have jobs, housing benefits for civil society and civil engineers and civil workers. These are the policies we are proposing. So many policies that can transform this country.
All right. All right, we'll leave it here. Time up. Dr. Sasanya, thank you so much. We'll obviously touch base with you as you embark on that campaign tour. Dr. Ramsey, we are wrapping up. Yes. Your few comments before we go.
Elton, I feel highly melancholic to hear a person who opposed to Nkrumahism give such criticisms to Honorable Alan Kojo-Tramantin. For his record, and for him to know that his founder, Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, who helped grow the UGCC, who was a key proponent of the UGCC, left the UGCC in 1949 to form the CPP and became you are interjecting when you are we can't
we're actually wrapping up, so perhaps you can address.
When you were speaking, I was quiet.
You can address our viewers and listeners on your plans
there's something you see, they always propel this propaganda, and we have to set the record straight. There's something we call collective responsibility and individual accountability, right? Let's look at the individual, the candidate, Honorable Alan Kojo-Tramantin, as a whole. What has he been able to contribute to this country? For your record, when he brought about the one district, one factory policy, we have 269 factories currently operational under the 1D1F. He has been able to create 170,000 direct and indirect jobs, even though he was shortchanged for the budgetary allocation for the 1D1F policy. And he is saying that he is the only candidate among all the candidates contested who can be able to promote industrialization and import substitution.
Thank you.
That will stabilize our CD and that would provide a lot of jobs for our youth. And he's bringing about this policy in the history of this country.
Just 10 seconds.
Oh, please, let me wrap up.
The time is up.
No, it's okay.
The time is up.
We'll have another show on this.
All I'm saying is that
you've got 10 seconds.
He cannot eat his cake and have it. Alan Tramantin.
Perhaps you should speak to the Ghanaian people.
But of course, Alan Tramantin was sitting in cabinet with President Akufo-Addo for 8 years, chilling together, eating salad together. They were on the aeroplane, the bathroom aeroplane
we'll leave it here.
The aeroplane bathroom. They were bathroom in the aeroplane.
We'll leave it here and continue Monday. But this has been The Pulse. My name is Elton Robe. You've been listening to Dr. Ramsey from the Movement for Change, from the Yellow Camp. Of course, Mr. Sapon, first time we are meeting, and hopefully we'll have more of such encounters.
Thank you.
You also heard
Alan is a reincarnation of Dr. Kwame.
And of course, the running mates of the force, the new force. See you same time next week Monday. Have a good weekend.